Young Con from conartist.org is offering the listeners of the RngCast 25% off commission work, including avatars, logo design, Twitch overlays, buttons, and even branding packages to unify their look. Just message him on Twitter at YoungCon, that's YUNG _ KHAN _ and say the RNG sent you over for a quote today. That's 25% off for listeners. Thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 51 of the RngCast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. Joining me this week are...
It's your boy Raven.
And joining us to be the special guest this week, the final guest before the 1-year anniversary of the RngCast, the man with the plan, the steamer, dreamer, streamer, believer, which is all inside jokes between Hidden and me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Hidden to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey man, thanks for being on. Now, as per the tradition that we will continue on, I will ask the questions that we all ask every single guest every single time. How did you come up with your screen name? What's your favorite weapon in Destiny? And what's your favorite exotic in Destiny?
So screen name goes back to high school days, 2002, 2003. I was creating a AOL Instant Messenger because that was the hotness back then. that was the high-tech thing, right? And my original screen name was Hidden _ Ghost _ 03. And I typed it into the AOL Instant Messenger name creator, and for some reason, it shortened it to HIDDNEN, and I went with it. So there you go.
Fair enough.
And your favorite weapon and exotic in Destiny?
Sure. So that would be 2 questions, 1 answer. Mida is Bay.
Wow, you make it very, very easy for us to for these questions. So thank you. Once again, thank you for being on. Also, just for clarification for everybody in the whole world, is it hidden or is it hidden?
Again, two questions, 1 answer, right? So I will go by, I will answer to hidden in, whatever you want to call me, other than asshole. I'm good.
Dang it, that was going to be my choice.
Yeah.
Good. For the Trials map this week, we are going to Twilight Gap. A lot of people like this map for Trials. I'm not a big Trials guy, so I'm assuming it gives everybody a taste of what they want. If you want a shotgun, you can shotgun. If you want to snipe, you can snipe. If you want a fusion, you can fusion.
Yeah, there's some pretty clear engagement areas in Twilight Gap. I mean, you're not mistaking one lane for another and getting surprised in any degree, so everything's very kind of clear-cut there.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't play Trials a whole lot, but from the times that I've played this map, I feel the is it A side? I think is that a weakness? Personally,
A side is the hangar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because
okay, so
C
side
is up top and B is
well B's
way
outside,
the crap over there.
But
yeah.
The one that starts to where if you're looking at the guns that are shooting on the backside,
yeah,
it's on the left. The one that's closest to the party,
okay,
is
yeah.
I struggle on that side, but that made me just being a scrub. So
I I know the one snipe lane everybody uses is the catwalk. But Party Room is also a very, very highly contested area. I mean, that's what I really like in some PvP maps. There's always like the one or two hot spots where all the shenanigans goes down, and Party Room seems to be where the shenanigans goes down the most. So,
that's what they call it, Party Room.
Yeah,
that's why you don't go towards Party Room.
Yeah,
especially in a match of sixes, you detour Party Room hard on Twilight Gap.
Or you just get to right where you can just lob grenades in there, and it's a good time.
It's kind of like the inside on Black Shield.
Oh my god, the inside on Black Shield is so fun to contest, though. Or the map room in Firebase Delphi. So, for Destiny news this week, other than the stream, the reveal stream that people got invited to, congratulations to everybody who's been invited. Have a great time. Moving on. There will be probably one of my favorite Iron Banners coming up this month, and that would be Mayhem Iron Banner. And I am super excited for it. Like, beyond excited, actually. So, how do you guys feel about the Mayhem coming to Iron Banner?
I've personally never minded Mayhem too much. I know there's a lot of people that kind of have a strong dislike of Mayhem, but at the same time, it's like I like turn off my serious and I just go and, I mean, especially for my current douchebag, Blade Dancer. I mean, Tarantella, Memory Fellwinter, Sticky Nades. It's even better in Mayhem. You're just tossing sticks all freaking day, man. But, yeah, I'm going to hop in and just going to have fun. Just go balls deep.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it'd be. It's going to be super easy to get your kills done for the heavy, because heavy spawns every, minute and a half in Mayhem?
Like 5 minutes?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's twice in a match, right?
I think it's 3. If the match goes on long enough, I think it's 3.
Yeah.
I mean, don't quote me on that, because I somehow still almost always miss heavy.
Yeah. Hidden, how you feel about it?
It'll be a good time. I always love Iron Banner. With Destiny Reset, to where we always do Dirt Fan Banner, and we try to rotate as many people in and out that we can to play with everybody. And so it's always fun. Whatever the actual banner theme is, just running full 6, it always makes it even better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we try to get the RNG Death Squad together to run when Iron Banner comes around, and it's always fun. I mean, it's gonna be Sticky Nadapalooza, though. We all can agree it's gonna be Sticky Nadapalooza with Mayhem coming around. So, Lady Aphrodite will have the Clever Dragon, the Pulse Rifle, and the LMG. The name escapes me.
Silver Dread.
Silver Dread, thank you, Des. And they will have boots and chest piece. So,
not bad.
If you're not light level 400, it's pretty easy to get light level 400 when Iron Banner comes around. So get out there and have some fun. We will be moving on now, unless you guys have any last things to say about the Mayhem Iron Banner. We can move on to the memory lane topic.
Other than general advice, shut down supers. Mm-hmm. Don't waste your time on roaming supers. It's no bueno.
Yeah, you're gonna get shut down. That's what's gonna happen.
Nova bombs, fists,
Goldies.
Yeah, either Goldies or Night Stalkers, I believe, can be strong. Either or.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. For sure, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of the ether.
Oh yeah.
So, for the memory lane topic, guys, 1 to 75. Hidden, what's your number?
3.
You don't have one, obviously. Des, what's your number?
42.
Des might have one. I'll go 61. It's 23. So closest without going over is actually Hendon.
Yeah, but that's a pretty big gap there.
Yeah, it was a huge gap. So, what's your memory lane topic, man?
Let's see. How many people do you still play with from year one?
From year one?
Year one Destiny.
Munch? I want to say, I think just Munch.
Yeah.
Because I think, because Des, we didn't start
We were
playing.
year two.
We were year two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we started. Actually, to be honest, sadly anymore, I don't think I play with anyone from year one anymore. I haven't seen my homeboy in for ages, so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of. How many people do you play with from year one?
I mean, I've got two that we played from week one together, and they'll get on every so often. We'll drop a group text. Hey, anybody on? Anybody? What are we doing? They're not actually derp related. So that to where the whole derp clan didn't really start until about House of Wolves, a little bit before that. So there's a lot of people that half of year one I still play with, but there's two that I play with from the very beginning. Pretty neat to where it was really cool to where we got to redo Vogue, right, with when it went 390 and we got to the three of us ran with other people, but it was neat to be able to do that literally 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Still playing with the same three people that we ran so many times with originally.
I mean, I have a bunch of people that fuck. Yeah, just Munch, because Munch and I played since Black Ops 2 days, so I still have a couple friends that I used to play Black Ops 2 with, so it's kind of weird when I see them, and if they jump on, I invite them and everything. But yeah, just Munch. Now it's just all year 2, year 3 friends that just stay on. So it's a very weird. It's weird to think about.
Year one was divisive, man.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, there's a lot of people that remember with rose-colored glasses, but God, especially looking back now and just clearly looking back, Destiny was a rough game back then.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's in our Discord, I think, Anon, with no offense, but whatever title he's going by now, listed this huge thing of just year one stuff, and it's let's see, here it is. Trying to abbreviate this, but one thing's weapons took a massive amount of materials.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's
those
were the raid weapons. Whenever they said they were,
oh yeah,
and what I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do with this? I'm not farming these materials again.
Yeah, because not only did you have the planetary materials, but then you had ascendant, radiant.
Yep.
So all kinds of freaking materials to use.
Oh my god, yeah.
And those extra upgrade damage nodes that used to be in there that cost even more.
I think the biggest thing I hated was probably the exotic weapons when they went from vanilla to dark below, and you had to re-upgrade them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was horrible.
There was no rollover system.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have now. You had to upgrade from one to the next. It's oh yeah, here's Xur that has these 12 upgrades that you can get.
Yep.
But that's RNG.
Or the perk for the exotics were the very last node on the whole gun.
Took a shard.
Here. Mm-hmm. And it
didn't the last 3 take shards?
Yeah, the last 3 took shards.
And that was after. Actually, God, there's a lot I don't even remember anymore. And then you actually had instead of legendary marks, there were Vanguard and Crucible marks that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the factions took Crucible, so if you wanted anything from a faction,
You had to play Crucible.
not only did you have to forego all of your Vanguard or Crucible rep to put towards a faction, but you had to play Crucible to get Crucible marks to buy their scrap. So,
Oh yeah, you only had one faction too. You couldn't.
Yeah.
You didn't have Vanguard and a faction or Crucible and a faction. You only
Yeah.
had a faction.
once you put that class item on, that was all of your rep went towards that faction.
Wow. That's just hidden. I think I might have to say that this is the best memory lane topic that we've had in the whole
There you go.
almost year. So I mean,
Yeah.
So, I'm pulling up Dim right now, right, to where I wanted to look. I've got. Let me find it. Hold on. I still have 242 Radiant Shards, 259 Ascendant Shards, 114 Radiant Energies, and 205 Radiant Shards, just in case we ever needed them again.
I have them too, just because I didn't want to get rid of them, in fear that they would bring them back and you would have to use them to do stuff. So it's Destiny definitely makes you a hoarder.
Oh yeah, it's just freaking year one. Good God,
Because I have 62 fucking palindromes.
those freaking those Jacklight head vanities or head consumables that the first year they only gave you like 5 of them, so there's so many people that held on to that first 5. It's like, but they're precious.
Yeah.
And now you get, God, how many do I have now? That actually makes me wonder.
I've got 46 on my account.
Jesus. I get rid of them. I'm not
don't-
putting them all in my head. I'm not doing it.
I just keep them, and then I don't use them because depending on your playstyle, the actual head itself will get in your way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 49.
Like the snow drag, the eyeball, all that shit. I'm like, come on, man, this is ridiculous.
I always made a joke one time in the Derp Discord about 401k and retirement for Destiny down the road, and I had for Glimmer, I keep all of my the Glimmer exchange items for I've got Ether Seeds. I have 536. And just I can cash them in, and at any point where I've got 0 Glimmer, hold please, and then I'm maxed. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go buy some more stuff.
Plus,
I don't use them.
Plus, we have ghosts now that give you money too. So
Yeah.
That is probably one of my favorite things ever. Biggest quality of life. That's probably one of the best improvements.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the fact that they even added ghost shells, because you're getting back in year 1.
God.
If you didn't get the collector's edition, it's like,
I just have.
you get stock ghost shell. There you go.
I think I still have one.
I do on my hunter. I still have the white ghost on my hunter.
Yeah, I've kept all of them.
So, we're going to move on to revolutionary ideas. We have a few this week. Det Ben Malone from the Barely a Destiny show. Shout out to you guys. He sent this one. He said, I got a memory lane topic, but, I didn't win, so I was going to use his topic if I did win. But his topic is this. When was the first time you got drunk?
Oh, yeah.
You having a hard time
Does it
remembering
happen
this?
too much or not enough that you can't?
Well, I mean, the first time I got drunk was a while ago now.
Yeah, that was the question. First time.
There was one. Well, the earliest I can remember was actually I used to work in. Well, I've spent like 6 years in restaurants before my factory time, and there was this little mom and pa's place I used to work at the lake, and me and a friend, we were cool with the manager, and we actually bought like 2 6-packs of beer, even though we weren't supposed to. Shh. We ended up going back to his place. And like I said, considering it had to be my first time, because after like 3 or 4 beers, I was already just kind of, so I mean, within that 6-pack, I was like wasted. Which hilariously, it was just me and him chilling. But like I said, hilarious. I was at the 5th beer. We went outside and smoked a little. I kind of felt bad because we were on the porch. I turned around, hurled. It's like, yeah, I think I'm ready for that 6th beer now. So, nothing fantastic, but I mean, that was it.
It's everybody's first time. Hidden, what was your first time getting drunk?
Yeah, so I didn't drink until I was 21. And when I turned 21, I started off with LITs and never really got wasted from it. And then one time we would go, I was working retail, and every Wednesday we would go and they had a special for bowling. So I would go and bowl with a whole bunch of coworkers. And a pitcher of beer cost a pitcher of beer cost less than a pitcher of soda. So, beer. And got shmammered while bowling. It was a good time.
It's always the fun ones.
Continue to do that every Wednesday.
The first time I got drunk, oh god, it was I think a 4th of July picnic back at my grandparents. I was lucky I lived next door to my grandparents, and they had several acres of land, and they had like a patio with a pool built, and they had like a grill and everything. And my grandpa, I remember, he used to drink Miller High Life in the little pony bottles. You know what I'm talking about? And my mom and her friends were drinking mudslides, and I absconded with a couple glasses of it so me and my friends could drink. And well, you know, I drank mudslide, and it was chocolate milk and liquor, so it was tasty. And then my grandpa was like, my grandpa and my dad were drinking, and they were like, you know, give little Buster some. He's old enough. He's not going anywhere. It's fine. And my mom was, I don't think so, but my dad said, fuck it. Which is probably how most of my dad's stories have some point in it. My dad said, fuck it. And I probably drank maybe 5 or 6 of those little pony bottles. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but mudslides and beer does not mix well. So Baby Buster was stumbling and real messed up and vomiting. Just chocolate pudding. Just it was fucking terrible. I was like 12. So I was like 12 or 13. It was ridiculous. So I probably was 13. Now that I think about it, because teenager. He's got hair on his chest or some Ron Burgundy-ism.
Yeah,
is how my dad, goes. This question is from Businessman. Buddy, we miss you. Our thoughts are with you. Who does Hidden swear allegiance to? We want answers. I don't know what that means. I ask the questions I see.
Well, I mean, I guess I rep Destiny Reset on both consoles, right? So, but yeah, outside of that, I don't know.
What faction?
Oh, now is he talking about factions? Okay.
Who knows?
I mean, I guess my highest ranked faction is Dead Orbit. But to be honest, Xbox, I've always had one of each. If I move one to one, I move somebody else to the other.
Yeah.
Just that way, so it's maximizing my gain of faction rank.
That way you can get the weapons when the vendor reset happens, so you don't have to switch to one and then you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
So, Average Joe 227, which is our newest patron on Patreon. Thank you for supporting us. ask this: what kind of controller do you use?
Xbox Elite. I use it on both consoles.
Oh, so you have the adapter to switch to Xbox?
Cronus Max HD.
Chronos, okay. I was about to ask if it was a Chronos or a Zim.
Yeah, Cronus. I actually got a PlayStation. Like my stream was able to help me out and to where it kind of go halvesies, and I was able to get a PlayStation back in December, so I could do it, the whole thing on both consoles. And the one that I bought it used, and the guy didn't tell me that the sprint button or the left stick didn't work fully, only half the time. So I did a marathon stream the weekend I got PlayStation. Literally played over like 18 hours without a sprint. It was horrible. But so I ended up then it was cheaper for me to buy the Cronus Max than buying a new PlayStation controller. So I was like, well, fine. Yes, let me use my Xbox Elite on both consoles, please.
Okay. And BitDad asked this. He writes, I've been around since the early days of his Discord and channel and have seen it grow. It's a positive and fun place, which I can say it is because I've watched you stream, and I don't know why I didn't think about hip firing the Mida until I've watched you do it, and I was like, hip fire, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
How would you like to see the channel grow, and what is your ultimate goal? Stay amazing, brother.
Thanks so much, BitDad. Yeah, he's been around forever. Love that man. Growth wise, I just want to keep growing to where I've really noticed some substantial growth here in the last couple of months, and I'm loving it. Right now Twitch is doing a lot of amazing things for streamers, with the whole Twitch affiliate, and then partnered and everything else. And the first goal is to get that Twitch affiliate. I don't have it yet. Waiting on that email. I think my email's broke. But outside of that, just growing and creating a positive environment to where anybody can, to where if you're not able to play, if you're not able to get on, you can hop in, watch, have fun, minimizing the soft input.
Yeah, I gotta say, I just started streaming like 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. So I always ask like the dumb questions, and I was just like, yeah, how's this work? And yesterday you were like, oh, this is how you do it. It's real easy, and you just kind of let it happen. I'm like, sweet, man. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things too, to where that's the easiest way is, you can Google and do everything there, but when you go to somebody's stream and you see something that you like, ask them about it and learn more, to where you don't learn unless you ask questions. And to where them being able to explain it, same thing. Anything that you see on mine, I've most likely seen it somewhere else and did the exact same thing and asked, how do you do this? How do you do that? Like, big shout out to one of my favorite streamers, Damn It Bennett. He's got a YouTube series called Damn It Noob that highly recommend to anybody that's getting into streaming, to where it's step-by-step processes on some really cool stuff that he has on his streams, and I have most of the same things on mine, because just that, they're easy, they're cool, and they're either interactive or just, it makes your stream, that other notch to make it a little bit more unique. So
I have to check that out. You said Damn It Noob was what it was?
Damn It. Damn It Bennett. Good guy.
Okay. So that just brought us right into the Stream 101, or as I wrote, because I fat fingered it, Steam 101. So fire, water, hot. There's the basics for Steam. So how long have you had your channel?
I started streaming probably the week after I got an Xbox One, back right before House of Wolves. Really knew nothing about. I think prior to that, I may have already had an account from watching reveal streams, maybe. But then when I got the Xbox One and I was able to actually broadcast, I immediately started doing it, just to do it because it was an option, right? It's like, why not? I'm playing the game. If somebody wants to come. And to be honest, we actually used it for those two other guys that I mentioned earlier, to where if one of us couldn't play at that time, I could have my stream up and they could hop in and watch and still interact with us, right? And then it just kind of grew from there. And I was already pretty heavily involved in like the Twitter Destiny community, and there's a lot of streamers as well. And it's just like let's do all the things. Let's do everything we can. But yeah, so been doing that since that was like May of 15, I think. Hit it pretty heavy for about 6 months. Did my first Extra Life stream. That was about, I think I ended up doing it for like 22 hours. And after that, I hit a big wall and kind of burnt me out. I played only a couple times until December of that year, and then kind of took like 6 months off. And came back, Rise of Iron announced, came back in and hit the ground running and haven't stopped since.
You stream using OBS or through your PlayStation or through your PlayStation or Xbox natively? Like what do you?
Yeah, I started off with Xbox direct from console, and then started learning about OBS and broadcasting, and was able to use some money that I had pocketed and got a decent PC that could handle OBS. I just computer games, they can handle OBS pretty well. And that was like September, and then kind of dove in, and I've been building this control center that I have, slowly, even before then, but it's definitely been a process. I'll find something at we've got a local electronics store, bookstore that has used electronics, and almost everything I have is either from there or I found it on Craigslist, or, I don't think I have anything that's brand new other than maybe my Xbox. I think everything else is pretty much used. So, but it all functions, right? And to where I got the PC, I found a Elgato HD capture card there that was used. I was like, I've got to get it. I can't not do this. So, and now I'm using OBS and haven't looked back.
Cool, yeah. I say because I see the green all around you, and I know that's from OBS, so you don't blend in.
Yep.
If you watch my streams, this is where I stream.
It's one of those things, right? So where 6 months ago I didn't use a cam at all. I didn't have a cam. I found a cam that was like $15. That was normally like a $50 cam. I was like, all right, well, it's time to cam, right? And then my first one, like, this is actually a window behind here, and I had a poster board. I bought some poster board, as you can see right here, and I had it behind me, right? And then I ended up getting this and putting it all the way over the window. So that then I had a green wall, and then I found these literally a couple weeks ago at Walmart, and I was like, I have to do it. So I have it. Because if my apartment complex comes in and sees this cardboard fleece wall behind me over a window, they're like, hey, that's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
So now it's legit. I have a functioning window that also works as a green wall. So.
Yeah,
that's using your head right there.
Streamer ingenuity. That's one
right?
thing we all have.
Things like.
Yeah, also for streamers that are blocking windows, most apartment complexes don't like it when you block windows.
Definitely not.
That's like they want you to be able to escape, even though, you might be on the second floor, but they still want you to be able to jump out.
Just in case. But no, like, for real, like, these actually work better than what my poster boards did. I guess because they're like a matte green versus a bright green. I don't know. It's really weird. I had less issues with my chroma filters on those, and they were like $10 a panel.
Nice.
So cheaper than you can Amazon a actual green wall. So
yeah, well, you gotta make do with what you got, right?
Oh, definitely. My first wall was $4 or $5 worth of poster boards, right?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to where there's a I don't remember the name of the game, as a mobile app YouTuber. PewDiePie's YouTuber game. It's really neat because you start off right with this little dirty ass room, and you do these mobile app games that you keep unlocking stuff, and you keep upgrading your green wall, and it's so funny because it's so true. It was so legitimate. It's like, oh wow, this is really neat. This is literally me, the last 2 years of my life. It's funny.
Because for me, setting up my stream area, obviously it's the same area as my podcast area. I have a small corner of my apartment that my girlfriend graciously let me have. I can't put. I'm like, can I put posters to show on the wall? She's like, it's technically the dining room. No, and I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, what about if I have them in like frames and I just put them up and then take them down? She's like, if you want to frame everything, yeah, sure.
Oh, all right. So here we got you. So go back to 5th grade, right, where you had the science fair, big poster board.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to get the big poster board and put my posters on it and just open it up.
Go get you a couple of those, paint it, and then put your posters up, and you can just place it behind you. And then when you just put them in the closet when you're done, right? And like, so you're looking at my window. I had one of those cardboard things here, right? Like literally between my desk and the other wall that I literally hammered to the wall, and then that's when I put my poster boards up on. So I'd have a permanent wall there, and it only went like halfway up my window. That's what you could see in the cam. So, but it functioned. It let me have the green screen, and you couldn't see what was behind me. So,
yeah, I was thinking about doing that too. Like I was walking around, I think Walmart, just picking up some stuff, and I'm like
$4.
And I opened it up, and I'm sitting here looking at it like that's like 4 posters if I do it right. And I can just put it behind me. Yeah, I can just put it behind me and open it up and thumbtack it to the wall if I need to. But I have
like a little can of paint, and just paint it whatever wall color you want to have your imaginary apartment to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And put up poster boards. If this is not a thing next week for your 1 year, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. But just open it up and just. She's gonna be like, I can't believe you figured that out. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not moving that bookcase. That bookcase weighs like fucking 1,300 pounds, man. It's full of fucking thick ass books and pictures and shit. I'm not moving that. I'm just gonna put shit in front of it.
Yeah, looking at those books, that's like a War and Peace book. Like a few of those back there, almost. Jesus.
There you go, guys. William Shakespeare. The
oh God, yes,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, all the Harry Potter books, plus a bunch of other paperbacks down bottom, and my paint supplies and shit. So it's a lot of it's a lot of work. I'm not moving that. I'm just gonna put shit on top of it, in front of it. That's what I'm gonna do. And she's gonna be like, I can't say anything. It's temporary. I'm like, yep. Slide it right in the closet. You can't say nothing about it. So,
and now what you can do also is like when you're having a bad day, right? You can just go to like a corner and put it behind you, and you're like just leave me alone right now.
Yeah, I'm in my.
I need a moment, okay?
Be like
this is my fortress of solitude. All right.
Be like the scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they go in they find the little hidden room in the bar, and they're like, it's full of broken glass. Get out! That's Charlie's angry room. Just open it up, man. So if you could give anybody who is, I mean, fuck it, you just give me, use me for example, who is just starting the stream grind. Could you give anybody some hints, tips, tricks, whatever you figured out in your time streaming that would make it easier?
So you'll see it on like my Twitter feed, to where I probably say it at least once a week. Somebody way back when I started, I think it was Broman. I couldn't find the original tweet or anything. But somebody told me to always focus on the viewers you have and not the viewers you don't. To where nobody's going to enjoy your stream if you've got 5 people or 500, and you're like, oh man, I wish I had 10 people, or I wish I had 1,000 people, right? And you're doubling up those numbers. Focus on the people that's there. They're there for a reason. So and accompany them and interact with them, not the people that, oh well, last night I had this many. Why am I not having this many tonight? It's focus on that moment and keep engaged with the people that you have, and more people will join, right? And then always appreciate the lurkers. It's such a huge. I think we talked about this last night.
Yeah.
Where if you've got one viewer, right, you still have that one viewer. There's countless people in the Destiny directory or any directory that may have 0, and you're above that. You're above them, right? And you get that second viewer, you're now above everybody else that only had 1. Same thing with 10 viewers versus 20 viewers. You're climbing that chain, and focus on the people that you have, and more will come. Set schedules are really good, to where that way, just like any TV show, if you've got a set schedule and people enjoy watching you, they're going to come, they're going to visit. And of course, getting your name out there, to where, like, I probably post my link in 20 some odd Discords and promotional ones, and Twitter and everything else. I may not get anybody, but that night that I don't feel like posting all these links, and then I don't, and then I can't wonder why nobody showed up, right? Because they didn't know I was streaming, unless they already follow me and they get alerted for it. But you can count on that.
So basically, a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, go ahead, Des.
Well, I was about to say, also, like, not really advice for streamers, but advice for those that enjoy watching streams. Be vocal. If you really like them, I mean, maybe you want to see them go places. Keep, like, if you have any kind of social media, tweet them out, like, put them out there, like, because it's like the relationship. Oh crap, but the relationship between the streamer and the viewer is like symbiotics. Like, the both of you, ideally you help each other out. You're giving entertainment as a streamer, and the viewer takes that, and, like I said, ideally spreads the word. Like, word of mouth is still, like, a very powerful thing that can really carry through.
That's what, like, the whole Destiny community is, right? Is word of mouth on Twitter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Other places, but Twitter and Discord are the key factors.
We talked about that yesterday, the whole lurker thing, and I made mention that, like, if I watch a stream, I'm usually very active in the chat, because that's what I like to have. I like to have the back and forth, and
definitely.
I mean, today I actually I had a couple people that were in the chat, talking, having fun. So I mean, I could see how addictive this could be. It's sort of like podcasting. Podcasting is super addictive once you get into it. Like, right. I look forward, like, on Thursday nights when I'm at work and I'm like, oh my God, it's 7 a.m. What am I going to do? And I'm like, I can go to sleep. I can play the game for like an hour and a half, so I have something to talk about on Saturday. And then when I get up on Saturday, my alarm goes off, and it's like, the message says podcast day. Like, I get super excited for this. And I mean, I get to talk to 2 or 3 or 4 awesome people every week, and people actually listen. So it's really cool that people listen. Like, every time we get downloads and the alerts and stuff, I'm like, people listen. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you. We appreciate it. We've been going strong for 51 weeks. I can't believe it. It's almost been a year. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just like a shout out, like, to the community, and even those that can't hop into the Discord, or of course, I used to be one of those guys, like, listening to Destiny Reset and hearing about this community. It took me months of listening before I finally was like, let me check this out. But
we give it that.
But actually, it was GroupMe back then.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man, GroupMe. I was in it. I was there, but I had the notifications turned off.
Yes, but But no, I mean, it's just like it's really a humbling thing. Like, I mean, like Buster said, 51 weeks, and like, except for Christmas, we had like no drop in listeners.
That's awesome.
It's a entirely humbling thing to put out a product that people actually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy for me. because I think yesterday, Hidden, you asked who is the person you were talking to on Twitter, because as you know, we use Twitter for communication with our potential guests and everybody else, and I was like, well, it's me, it's Buster, because not for lack of trying, I'm the one who just is typically the one running the Twitter. Everybody has, we all share login information. That's just one thing we started from the beginning, that we're not a one-man show. And Des, you can agree, we don't make decisions without bouncing it off each other.
Yeah.
And if one person has a problem, we fix it, and we use the mods in our Discord are like the tiebreakers, I guess would be the best way to put it. They give us our input, and we're like, that's a good idea, or no, I don't think that's a good idea. But we're a community, and that's the thing that gets me the most, is that we built a community of fucking amazing people. And I mean, the Destiny community itself is amazing, and I mean, you can see that through the streamers that have like 300-400 people, and they're like, well, we're gonna raid this guy who only has 2 people in the stream, and the next thing you know, that guy's freaking the fuck out. I mean, it's just awesome. And to segue perfectly into the Destiny community being awesome, on May 20th, there will be a stream for StackUp.org, which is a veterans support organization, and it's with our brothers at the Sundowners gaming clan. We're just going to go over a couple of people who are going to be on it. Obviously, the Sundowners themselves will be sporadically sprinkled through, but Destiny's the Speaker Secret Stash will be there. Anon Pig from Destiny Lorecast will be there. The Fireborn Radio guys will be there. Hidden himself will be there. The guys from the Massive Breakdowns, the Dad's Tales, Destiny Ghost Stories, and Destiny Down Under. Oh, and us as well. The RngCast. We're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to be there, and we
or at least one of us.
Well, I'll be there.
Destiny Addicts as well.
Yeah, Destiny Addicts. They're joining us on our time slot at 5 p.m. and Hidden is right after us at 7.
Yep.
So,
and I think Destiny Ghost Stories are right after me, and I'll probably end up hopping in there with them as well.
Massive Breakdowns is after you.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, you're on at 7, we're on at 5, and the Destiny Addict guys are Bushman Bob. They just started their podcast 2 weeks ago, and he was he was all over Discord and Twitter asking me questions on how to start the podcast and stuff, and it feels good to
It's the exact same thing, right? With streaming, is to where if you want to learn something, you go out and you ask the people that are doing it.
Yeah,
and so that way you can learn from other people's errors and mistakes, right? That's the definition of wisdom. So.
Which I think, I guess the ultimate advice is, if you want to start anything,
start it.
Basically, just have a heart full of hope and a head full of questions.
Yep.
Yeah, there is no stupid question. I mean, that's just how it is. And when they started their podcast, and I'm listening, I'm like, that's so good. It's awesome. And for that Ben Malone, who was he did the Barely a Destiny show, and I was on that, and it's so cool to have like people ask. Because I remember when I first came up with the idea, when we first came up with the idea, I asked people like, how you do this, how you do that, and Arrow and Cyborg from the Destiny Reset podcast were like, this is what you do, easy, boom, 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 that's all you gotta do. And I'm like, that's all you gotta do, really? It seems a lot harder than that.
And Arrow Knight is the reason I have the microphone I'm using.
Yeah. I mean,
because I put out a question, it's like, all right, so it's like. It was back when I was trying to get the YouTube thing going. It's like, decided to put it, actually talk to the wife and let me put a chunk of money into that, and like came up to him, it's like, or just was asking in the Destiny Reset Discord, and it's like, so I need suggestions on a mic, and people's like, oh, Blue Yeti this, or Blue Snowball that, and Arrow Knight's like, here's this hidden gem that has not failed me. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. I am trying so hard to get them to come on the show and talk to, and just shoot the shit with us for an hour or two or whatever they can do. But those guys are hard to lock down. They're making moves and doing stuff, but that's the goal for year 3.
A little backwards too.
Yeah, that too as well. Or we're vampires, they're daywalkers. That's how I look at it. So May 20th, join us. I'm going to say it now. For every $50 donated to this cause during our stream, I'm going to let the chat, and if the donator is in the chat, make my loadout.
Nice.
I'm going to say it right now.
Do you have do you run dim?
No, I have Ishtar Commander.
Okay. To where if you run dim, I don't know about Ishtar because I always use it because my PC is right here. But they have a randomizer button, which is super fun, and to where I've seen it in other streams, to where people will, for X amount of donations, I'll hit the randomize and use whatever it gives me, and until the next person donates for another randomize. But it's really neat.
Yeah, I could put that on my iPhone and run it. I think I can put dim on my iPhone. Yeah, I can put dim on my iPhone.
They have a mobile app version now that you can just do through browser, or it's an actual standalone app, or like the actual dim that I use is the Chrome extension, but they have a live website version that you can use now too.
Yeah, so that might be a thing to do. Yeah, instead of having somebody tell me, then me going to. Yep,
finding it like, well, you gotta tell me what weapons you have, whatever, and you can literally just hit it, and it like you can still like keep a high light level or whatever, but it's neat to where you can just punch it and it randomizes and you just play till you punch it again.
So that's what I'll do then. I'll hit the random button every 50. Yep. Why not the RngCast? Random is our thing. So for every $50 donated, I'll hit the random button and suck it up and deal with it. So, moving on to the RNG topic. Hen, what's your number? 1 to 75?
Let's go 33.
Des?
13.
51. 43 on the dot. So, Hen, it's you again. This can literally be anything.
Literally.
What are you most excited for Destiny 2?
Balls.
Yeah, I want more balls in the tower. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, legitimately more balls.
There won't be a tower, so there won't be any balls.
Well, whatever the new tower is. Hopefully there's one Guardian running with that big glowing ball. Like, I got it, guys!
Guys, I saved the ball! That's what I want right there, is a quest to save the lost purple ball and the soccer ball.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know, because I recently, because, there's been a lot of, speculation on certain aspects of Destiny 2 that I was trying to figure out how people were figuring things out. Like, I went a little dumb, and it's like how are people figuring we actually lost anything? And I finally read the the description of Destiny 2, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy Gary, he took our light, and it's like, oh, that's where they got that. Okay, crap, huh? So yeah, that's actually immediately piqued my curiosity on a. So of course, leave it to me to find the lore aspect, but how in the world did the Cabal find a thing to be able to encase and basically block the Traveler? And B, what are we going to get in return? It's like, what's going to be the lead up? I mean, how are we going to get this crap back? Because we're not just going to be ordinary dudes. I'm sorry, but the guys at Bungie that are a little head over heels about power fantasies, and they're not going to leave us without space magic. That's not going to happen. I can guarantee you that.
Is that all, Des? Because I think that you did the perfect segue into what I want.
I think that's about it.
Dragons. I want fucking dragons.
Fair enough.
I want Ahamkara because Ahamkaras can give power. They grant wishes. There's the bridge. That's how we can.
Yeah, but
get back
we're not going to
into
use a Hamkara.
Hey, man, a man can.
They
dream.
already have a bridge that they're going to use. I still stand by the fact that Ephrodite came from a community of people using light. We're going to go there and we're going to figure out how to use the light again.
I mean,
the bridge is already there.
Des,
it's like obvious.
Take another little piece of my heart now, Des. Come on now. I mean,
I will rip it out like
sure
Kano
will.
from MK1 and take a bite out of it.
All I want is dragons. That's all I fucking want. A Destiny game, give me dragons.
If we see them, they're going to be enemies. I can guarantee that.
Like I said, a dragon raid. I'll take a dragon raid. Dragon raid armor, amazing.
Yeah. Ooh. Give me. God.
Well, I mean, it looked like the Suros like stock images, right? So where it's related to dragons and.
Yeah, they didn't. That's another thing that's interesting too. Gun foundry armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting.
The gunsmith's gonna be more useful. Like, yeah, now you fuckers need me, right?
So, well,
push the cart,
right? So if we're in the last city, right, where are these manufacturing facilities that are making?
I don't know, because that's one thing that they don't actually discuss is where these things are manufactured. So I mean, as far as we know, I mean, Suros could be friggin' manufacturing things on Venus.
Yep. Well, I mean, technically, we're only supposed to be on Earth, but I don't know.
Nobody said that.
Digging too deep.
Yeah.
Too deep.
I mean, again, there's an entire community of Guardians somewhere in the Jovian system. Mm-hmm. Or sector, whatever the crap you want to say.
So what would you like to see?
We actually literally talked about this last night on stream, to where I feel like it's going to go two different ways. To where if we don't have our light, to where that's literally where all of our subclasses, all of our specials, everything comes from. So we're going to lose all of that. So we're either going to go like dark, to where similar to, I really don't think we're going to become friends with Hive and use their special abilities and become like dark Sith Lords. But are we going to go like Captain Planet and get Earth abilities and water, and it's like, I don't know, Guardian Pokemon, right? To where we'll have fire abilities and water abilities and psychic.
Titan used shoulder charge. It was super effective.
It was super effective.
A stab bonus using a hunter. Get it?
Right? And a couple weeks ago, I started doing, once the Destiny 2 release came out and you could get the Cade 6 figures, I took one of mine and I would go out, and we went to like the zoo here in Knoxville, and I was doing these like hashtag Cade 6 adventures. And I was making fun of, we're not having our abilities, so we're going to go back to Earth, right? And we're going to have animal companions and that kind of thing. And I was taking pictures with Cade 6 with different animals. And I was like, oh, Cade 6 confirms tigers in Destiny 2 and all this stuff. And it was really, kind of a whole pun thing that I was doing. But at the same time, I mean, we have wolves, right? Where's the tigers? Where's the bears? And that kind of thing. But maybe some dragons. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Wait, yeah. May 18th, right?
Yep. See, I'm not the only one who wants dragons. I'm not the only one.
I mean,
dragons if there's dragons.
It's actually hilarious because if they go the path I think they're going, we're still going to be following in Oryx's footsteps.
Oh yeah.
Because, he got the Hive originally got their power from dragons with the worms, but Oryx bypassed them and went to the darkness itself.
Yeah.
So it's like, chances are we're probably going to have to, if the Traveler's blocked off to it, it's like, which is actually going to be kind of, I'm hoping this is a temporary thing, because if we go another 3 years without hearing from the Traveler, for another inane reason, it's going to be a little disappointing.
Where's the Traveler? He's in a jar, like a firefly type of thing?
Yeah, they sealed him,
And the whole other thing, too, is to where, we could end up going to Mars, right, and finding Charlemagne and reuniting Charlemagne with
Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Rasputin, and be like, "Yo, we got 2 badass spots. We don't need
Yeah.
to anymore."
And we do know that Charlemagne is still possibly a thing because the whole Sleeper Quest did list a different subroutine for the Mars Warsats.
Oh, he's definitely a thing. He's in my Discord.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to I guess a very appreciated and liked segment. So we're gonna keep going on with this. The RNG recommends. Des obviously makes his small version of the Bird Rock every week, which requires a lot of work, which we appreciate because it makes it very easy to talk about the weapons. So we're going to talk about the Vanguard first off. Des, go ahead. What do you recommend? One or two that you recommend?
To be really, I don't think there's a lot here that I would.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's a decently rolled Bone Crusher with aggressive ballistics, life supporter, hip fire, hand later, armor piercing, and then persistence. Like nowhere near ideal, but.
I mean, I was going to say the Continental looks good. Not an absolute buy, but fun. Obviously. With spray and play, rifled and glass half full. I mean, you're always going to get to the glass half full, but I mean, we've all have talked about what glass half full really means.
6% for the last bullet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
But that last bullet might be the killing bullet. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Whoever makes it all the way through a clip, like I reload, like
I think the
I like
best
to reload.
the best use of glass half, like someone actually wanting or liking glass half full, back during the Grasp of Malak farms. It's like the best was Ben TB liked his glass half full grasp, not from a prospect of doing damage, but from a prospect that it became an early warning system on when he needed to reload.
Because you
He heard that ting of when it activates, and it's like, oh, after this I'm going to have to reload. That's like the best use of it that I've really heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't have to pay attention to your ammo counter.
All right, what about the Parthian shot?
Parthian, meh. I mean, it does have counter, so it's not awful. Handlaid. God, right now I can't remember what the crap that does.
Hand laid stock. Increases range.
But that's why we have the perk reference on the Bird Rock.
Yeah, I think it increases range or stability.
Stock increases stability, reduces range.
Okay.
So not awful, not really ideal for that weapon, but not awful. But stay away from rodeo. I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, with hand laid and counter, you're going to use it like fairly, very effectively. I would suggest using Feeding Frenzy because rodeo. After 3 years, no one still really knows what rodeo does. Like, there's been a theory that it actually helps, like, center your crosshairs, and, like, from rest, it gives you, like, the first bullet gets better stability or something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, definitely go with Feeding Frenzy. It does a thing better. And, but yeah, it's not bad. Not one I would fully suggest. I mean, it does have reflex, and we've talked about the benefit of reflex. So yeah, it's not awful. I'm going to say that it's not awful. Definitely not a bad buy, but.
And then you see anything that piques your interest? Tickles your
I'm the wrong person to talk to for vendor weapons because I don't buy any of them.
Oh, really?
I heard, like, I'm gonna skip a line, and I heard that the palindrome was decent this week, but I already got like 6 that are probably better. So it's it's one of those things to where 3 years in, if I don't already have that good weapon, I don't know. I don't ever. I'll literally turn my faction ranks in, and I always get weapons because I don't need more gear. And I'll look at it real quick, and I usually dismantle it instantly. Anyways,
Yeah.
there's a lot of weapons that I don't use because they're probably not Mida.
You're a Mida guy, right?
Yeah, but I mean at the same time, I don't always use Mida, but that's probably my go-to. But at the same time, to where I've got a set group of weapons, yet then my vault's still full, but I don't use any of them. But one of those things.
So for a Mida user, if you say you want to use the Telesto as a secondary or your exotic sword, would you use the Angel's Advocate for this week? Rodeo, mulligan, hand laid, or explosive and hidden hand.
Yeah, the explosive.
Not bad. Again, it's that first column, like for myself, that could use to be really, really stronger. Rodeo again, though. God. It's like, why is that a thing? Like Mulligan, sadly, Mulligan works good, but it's like I said a couple weeks ago. Mulligan's that perk that reminds you how awful your aim is. Shoot, ping, crap. Shoot, ping, God.
I quit.
Moving.
All right, so we'll move on to the future war cult. So obviously the Wormwood. If you don't have a Wormwood, pick this one up. High cal, fit as stock, rangefinder.
It's not bad. It's a solid roll.
Yeah, it's not the best roll you could
like
find.
And also for PvE, you can swap it over to Army of One. Gets more energy for, like, if you're still doing those daily Vanguard bounties that just happen to use this grenade thing. Mm-hmm. Throw it on. Get some grenade and melee energy really fast. Because I know, like, Army of One is, like, a perk I definitely use for those, like, whenever I do those bounties. It's like load into Siege of the Warmind. Get those initial things and just, like, throw a grenade, pop a few enemies, throw a nade.
Last night farming my sword on PlayStation.
Yeah, you were running around the moon for a minute grabbing helium.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The waltz looks pretty good. Flared magwell, perfect balance, and glass half full. I mean,
yeah. Again, it's not really an ideal situation, but definitely usable.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what's called the whale for Word of Prototype. It's actually not bad this week since it does have explosive rounds, which, as we said before, is like explosive rounds does some weird things where it sets the damage, so you get like better range out of it. And with that, on Hot Swap and Firefly, even though explosive does kind of screw around with Firefly a bit. By a bit, I mean probably a lot.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah. But still not bad. Probably definitely more of a PvE gun still, but like I said, it's workable.
For the Dead Orbit, the Extremophile with High Cal, Hammer Forge, and Glass Half Full. Obviously, they have a hard on for Glass Half Full this week.
All right.
Bitter Edge, Snapshot, Hammer Forge, Hidden Hand, or you put triple tap on so you can work on your criticals, but it's a Waylorn's March archetype, so I don't think that's... What's that, 2 to the head, Des?
No, that's... all your snipers are going to be...
1.
Waylorn's March. Yeah. All your snipers... Even because, I mean, if a 2020 AMR can kill on a headshot, anything is going to kill on a headshot.
Very true.
Even though the 2020 is barely a headshot kill. But yeah, it's crap. Where am I?
Armor piercing hammer. I mean,
Okay,
I might pick that up.
flare, perfect. Yeah, there we go. Hammer Forge, triple tap, hidden hand. Actually, for that, it's definitely not a bad. It's definitely not a bad PvE sniper for sure. Like triple tap is definitely going to be more beneficial in PvE, unless you're a PvP god that can get like triple down headshots, and all of a sudden you get another round.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but you're not going to see me doing that. That's for sure. The rocket launcher. Hard launch for extra velocity. It's got field scout, which it helps you get those 3 rockets in PvP. It does have tracking, and this archetype does have like some not quite truth silly, but very silly tracking.
Oh yeah, silly.
Because trust me, I use onto dust. Yeah, I haven't used that one, so actually I'm not entirely sure, but I use like a Warpath or a Steel Oracle. I think they have slightly lower velocity, but it seems like the lower velocity ones get some dumb curves in them, let me tell you what. Yeah, this was definitely not a bad rocket launcher roll.
No, not at all, actually. The tracking just gives it the bump.
Oh, yeah.
For New Monarchy, I don't even know about the Assembly 2 is a bullet hose, so...
Oh, yeah. Absolute bullet hose.
Hammer Forge...
No,
you need stability all day for that.
You need it, and it has absolutely none.
I mean, the Free Will 3, Explosive or Quick Draw, Hammer, and Outlaw, and Reactive Reload, that might be a fun gun to play with.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, especially with, again, it has the explosive. It might screw around with Outlaw, but Outlaw and Reactive are just, like, really super strong, like, synergy with one another. Since Outlaw will just help you get that Reactive, a little more of a bump to be used, basically.
Mm-hmm.
A little more predictable.
And that's about it for the New Monarchy, I see.
Yeah.
And now what everybody knows of Crucible, for the Crucible the Crucible
palindrome. Get it?
Palindrome.
Palindrome. If you're a bad shot, use mulligan.
One more time.
If this is actually what some would consider a god roll, considering it has Icarus, Rifled, and Rangefinder. These are, what the community see as very, very strong perks. And it's not Luck in the Chamber, which is Sweaty Band, apparently. But, so it's just a very functional, it's like, I've had a minor discussion in the Discord this morning with the co-founder. It's like, personally, I like Hidden Hand a little better. Like, just from, like, if you're eliminating Luck in the Chamber or Reactive Reload as an option, it's like I definitely place Hidden Hand a little higher than Rangefinder.
I'm liking the Event Horizon. I've actually started picking up sniping again. And if you don't have a good sniper rifle, that's a decent one to play around with.
Oh yeah, like this Event Horizon isn't bad. It's got short gaze, which IIRC. Let me double check those numbers real fast. Like short gaze does not drop. It's like the short gaze is the low zoom scope that doesn't murder your aim assist.
Mm-hmm.
So it's at a 4.9. Actually, same for VTAC SLH 20. a short gaze, very low zoom scope. Like I said, doesn't murder your aim assist, so you still get that stickiness. Plus, it has hidden hand to give you even more stickiness if you're that kind of sniper. Spray and play, because why not? And then it gets like or perfect balance, or again explosive rounds, because Lord knows you can do dirty things with the sniper with explosive rounds. Not things I would suggest, but Lord knows they've happened.
Fun things.
Yeah.
And hidden hand to help that stickiness a little bit more, that aim assist.
Oh, yeah.
The 0 Day Dilemma, not too much. The party favor, Feeding Frenzy. Ooh, never mind. So Palindrome.
Yeah,
Palindrome.
I hear palindromes. I hear good things about the palindrome this week.
Yeah. So it's been napping for a couple weeks, but a good palindrome is back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's at the same time to where, like, even on my PlayStation, which I'm actually on my Xbox. Never mind. I have 4 different palindromes currently, and only one of them is maxed out. But I don't even use hand cannons. So
I have a palindrome that got Biz upset. That's all I needed. Because I believe it was one of the rare moments that all 3 of us were together in the party, and Biz saw it and was like, "Oh, he's going to use explosive rounds just to piss me off," and I'm like, "Mm-hmm." So that was the RNG recommends. Get the palindrome. Get the Wormwood if you don't have one, and the Event Horizon. There you go. So, guys, how was your week in Destiny?
Am I going first?
Sure.
Mine was really good, to where I raided Monday night, pre-reset, and tried to do Death Singer Challenge for the first time, other than my very first completion with it, without a raise lighter on PlayStation. And I felt so handicapped that I was like, dude, I literally can't do anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because I usually run raise and like run tower knights, and I can't even kill one with my primary. So I was like, all right, so this week I'm getting a raise lighter. And that's what I've spent the whole week doing on PlayStation, is working on getting that, and finished it last night. And so next Wednesday, I will actually have some kind of gun from Gunsmith Day that I've not got something from the gunsmith in probably a year. But yeah, so I set a goal. I accomplished the goal. Haven't raided yet. I'm hoping to get a raid in on PlayStation, because you can run without a sword on Atheon. So I'll get those in some point today, tomorrow.
Des, how was your week?
The week hasn't been bad. Like, sadly, from a Destiny perspective, it just hasn't been there. I ran some PvP with a few people I haven't seen in a while. But I mean, being Nosferatu of the group, it's a little difficult to find raid groups that, at like 2 or 3 in the morning when everyone's asleep. But so I haven't raided yet this week. Like I said, I've run some PvP. I don't know. I have found like Legasp, another game that I've been kind of diving into. Because, I mean, just on a short side note, I did not realize. Well, y'all have heard of Smite?
Yeah.
The third-person MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize. Well, I've been like getting my feet wet into MOBAs, which, coming from old like RTS games, It's like very similar to that. So I've been having a little fun with that. But I did not realize that the devs for that, High Res Studios, are based in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, nice.
So they're like very local for me. Like when I first loaded up Smite and I saw that that familiar like Atlanta, Georgia logo, I was like, wait, what? And yeah, so I got into that, and they've recently for PlayStation they've put their new first-person shooter, team-based shooter, Paladins on open beta, and I've just been having a lot of fun with that. I mean, that's like. It's an entirely free-to-play game, like especially right now because it's open beta. You have no need to get into anything. You can just download the game and pick it up, and so I mean, if you're like on any kind of budget or anything, I mean, can't argue with free.
Yeah, can't argue with
I mean,
free.
It's really fun, and it's not a bad deal because Smite is also a free-to-play thing. Like they have a deal. It's like for $30 you can unlock everything from the past to the future. Like $30 in the game, you unlock everything. Paladins has a similar deal for $20. You unlock, or right now the Founders Pack, you unlock champions now and whoever they release. But that's been kind of my I can't find a raid group game.
I only got in playtime today, this morning, considering real life is like super overpowered, like Crota rushing the crystal room overpowered.
Hey buddy, what's going on?
Yeah.
What you doing in here?
Yeah. Hey Buster, you think you're gonna play? No, you're not gonna play the game. You're gonna fall asleep sitting on your couch eating a sandwich. That's what's gonna happen. 'Cause that's what happened. Legitimately, that's what happened. Like two fucking days in a row, I fell asleep on my couch eating a goddamn sandwich. So
I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna play.
Just holding it. Just that's real life OP. But today I'll definitely be streaming more. This morning I did the PvP auto rifle and fusion rifle. Gasp, shock, all. I got that done. I found my new baby, a 0-day dilemma, and I know everybody's gonna get mad at me with focus fire, perfect balance and counterbalance. I know it shouldn't work. It just works for some strange reason. I have no idea why it works so well. I discovered
the people you're playing against don't have thumbs.
No, actually, I played really good people recently. Getting back into sniping, trying to find a sniper rifle that works well with my my style of sniping. Been using the Devil's Dawn. That's the sniper rifle, right? The Devil's Dawn, is that the one you get from the Strike?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I've been using, and I mean it's fun, it's snappy. It's back. Figured, fuck it, might as well pick up a new weapon and try to play with it. I mean, sniper battles are fun because you pop somebody in the body and then you're like, they're gonna sneak their head. Yep. You don't ever double peek. Don't ever double peek. But I mean, that's basically what I've been up to. Played today, slept on the couch, ate a sandwich, didn't eat the sandwich, fell asleep holding the sandwich. Miraculously, when I woke up, the sandwich was still in my hands, and I was like, well, I'm just going to eat it now. Fuck it. Yeah. The dog was looking at me like, you going to eat that? You gonna eat that sandwich, dude? So, yeah, real life is overpowered, but I still find some time to, got up super early this morning, got my workout in, got a 2-hour stream in. So, that's basically what I'll be doing, grinding the stream out, seeing what happens. Apparently I need a raise lighter because I don't have one. I have a bolt caster because I fancied myself Ichigo Kurosaki when the Throw Sugaten shows. Be super cool.
See, I mean, I got lucky on Xbox to where week 1 of the swords, I did all 3 of them. So I could, swap back and forth between whichever one I wanted to use. But, yeah, I know people go back and forth between the Raise Lighter and the Dark Drinker, and I just really like the Raise.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So with my Titan, I got the bolt caster, right? No, well, what? Yeah. So if I buy the fire sword from Shaxx and rank it to 400, I get the quest opened. Correct?
Yeah,
that's how it works. And I don't.
As long as you can use it enough to bring up that last node in the tree and then fill in that node, then yeah.
The motes, right? So dump all your motes into it before you level it up, and then unlock all the nodes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to unlock that last node a second time, because like when you buy it, it won't have that last node available yet. So you max everything, and then you level it up, and then you'll have another node to level up, and then you'll unlock it.
And then I don't have to do the crucible kills.
Nope, you still do.
Oh, okay, so it's a crucible. Okay.
It just gives you access to be able to do the quest.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a different sword. So it starts you over, but at the same time, you don't have to. At least you don't have to go to a different character to do it.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Might be something I get into if I don't find a PvP or a Crota raid group this week. Because I refuse to do any other. I don't want any other armor but that raid armor.
I mean, it's that sword. Like, if you haven't ever used it, it's so fun because it hits hard, and like literally all of Crota raid, I am usually running that, as long as somebody else has like a Galahorn and so forth. But yeah, like Yellow Bar Knights, yeah, it's so fun.
See, I just use Boltcaster because I don't have to get up in the face of any Shriekers. I can just blast a Shrieker, run to the right side, blast a Shrieker, and then it pulls them out. It makes it easier to do the challenge mode. But
yeah, legitimately, actually running at least because I know there's a strategy like of your prime, like when you're splitting up, it's like 4 out of 6 people would run swords, and then 2 people run rockets. Like a legitimate strategy is to actually have is instead of a rocket launcher to use Boltcaster to deal with the Shriekers. I mean, it's a legitimate thing because I know Brother Eli, that's his preferred method is Boltcaster instead of rockets, and works wonderfully.
Yeah, I just don't ever use Bolt personally. That's just me. I don't know why. I just don't like. It depends on like if it's running like a weekly or a nightfall that's got arc damage. I usually run either my Wrath of the Machine heavy machine gun or a Iron Banner arc heavy that I have rocket launcher. But I don't know why. I just don't ever use it.
See that, and it helps with the tower boomers, the tower knights. If say somebody, the guy who is pulling the knights are in trouble, you can just turn around and wing that. Yeah, so you don't have to get up. I don't have to move. I can just throw it, and it does area damage.
I'm horrible with actually using the cast and throwing. It's like, oh, that was supposed to go that direction, but it went over here. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also the reason I got that one sword, just because of an anime character. I was like, I don't need any other ones. I'll just throw Gasuga Tenchos all day, and that was what I do. So it's all right. All right, guys. Does anybody have any other topics to bring up before we bring this episode to a close? It can be anything. We still have a fair amount of time. If not, it's no big deal. If so,
I had something on mind.
did you forget what it was, or are you just pausing for dramatic effect?
I would like to say I'm pausing for dramatic effect, but that might not be entirely true. Crap. I know I did want to make mentions. Like, it's like there is like the whole thing. Like I said, people go back and forth between the quote unquote best sword. And I know they have, it's like, especially between like Raise Lighter and Dark Drinker, which they both have different utility because, I mean, a lot of people just want to focus on the damage numbers. But those that use Raise Lighter, like religiously, like Raise Lighter. And it's like the reasoning I can find is like I said, Dark Drinker does damage. It's just what it does. But unlike Dark Drinker, what Raise Lighter does, it actually has like a crap ton of knockback. It pops like everything into the air. It stuns things. And I think that's like, and it actually, because I think I started using Raise Lighter. I used it on a run.
Like the attack itself is sticky.
Yeah.
And between that and then stunning the enemy, or staggering, I guess might be a better word. That's probably a big reason why I like to do it. And then, I mean, Dark Drinker is fun, and the attack has a larger spread of damage, but I don't hardly ever use it other than like maybe Wrath, and I'm usually not somebody that's up close able to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's like I said, that's just. It's also like I said, it's all basically a lot of it can be situational because, I mean, it's like the whole controversial apparently thing that went through the Destiny community. It was cluster bombs on a rocket launcher could compete, with some heavy damage. And I think one point that a lot of people were kind of missing is the fact that Axis is a ginormous freaking target.
Yeah.
And cluster bombs are going to work really well because he can actually still get hit by like probably 90% of the cluster bomb damage because he just has that big of a hitbox.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, like I said, there's a lot of like situational things because even though being like a damage number guy, I myself found Raise Lighter a lot better for the ERU challenge because, you can knock back these Yellow Bar Knights that, especially considering I main a Hunter, which are notoriously squishy. It's like survivability increased when I actually did use Raise Lighter. So it's like, you know what? This might be a good idea.
I have so much fun. Like, that's probably my favorite part of the raid now, is running Raise on nights at ERU.
It's like, I'm actually also so happy. Like, I'm still going to like praise Bungie for the change to Bridge. That they made it
so fun.
Such a fun encounter.
When those swords spawn and everybody, the last man runs across the bridge, and then you're just pack hunting knights, just 3 people are just whapping a knight, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, sword, the gatekeeper, and you just turn around, and then all the supers just go off, and that's one of the most, they made that raid fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. Like, so when swords spawn, all of a sudden you just hear ding, 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 because try as you might to separate from the group, you're always going to end up clustering together and like just really ruining a bunch of knights' days with swords. But yeah, I really enjoyed like the changes and tweaks they made to Crota. It's definitely become an encounter I do enjoy more now. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Crota's End ranked very low on my list for raids, but now just with that simple change and just a couple like small quality of life things, it's just like it's nice now. I mean,
refreshing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting to where I'd rather run that other than over Wrath, because you know what? Screw Vosik.
Mm-hmm.
Screw Vosik. Even though I will have to say, like, whenever I have Ren, I guess thanks to co-founder and them, it's like Vosik isn't as big of an issue as it used to be, I think. I just think it just needed some practice, really, but still, screw Vosik. You can burn. For Destiny 2, I want some kind of item that somehow immortalizes Vosik burning in hell. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. I can say, no spoiler warning, go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Go see it.
I think I may try to go this afternoon once I get my little guy back.
I saw something recently. What did I see?
It's a good one.
Oh yeah, I did catch I don't think I've ever said that. I did catch Rogue One finally.
I think you said that last week, and we talked about it. Yeah, I think maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Rogue One was
okay.
For a guy who, I mean, I liked Rogue One.
Yeah, because I was kind of mad for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't any like it's not any fault of the movie. It's just expanded universe kind of ruined that for me. So, I mean, can't say I've seen anything because I keep looking at what was that movie? That weird movie. Is it Get Out?
Yeah.
With the psychotic like neighborhood or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure I want to watch that.
Yeah, I don't.
Still not sure I'll actually want to watch that because last time I watched a movie that had such subject matter, American History X. Yeah, that turned out not being such an enjoyable thing.
No.
Bite the curb!
Wait,
oh my god!
They showed it.
Yeah. So, that's a.
I think I said that escalated quickly when I watched that movie. I was like, that escalated very quickly.
Seriously.
I mean, what was it that I had a conversation with my girlfriend. Is there a movie that you haven't seen that everyone assumes you've seen? Like,
My issue is I've seen a lot of movies, so
me too. Me too. But like, I can remember obviously, you guys have seen the movie Hot Fuzz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ain't seen Bad Boys 2? That's like every time somebody says they haven't seen a movie, I'm like, you haven't seen that? You haven't seen that movie? Like, you ain't seen Bad Boys 2? Like, I quote that all the time, and people just kind of look at me. Like, there's a guy at my job who's never seen Step Brothers.
Oh, wow. I
almost choked him with a cord. I was like, you don't deserve this anymore. Make a garrote and just get to work.
I have seen Logan, though.
Yeah, Logan was good.
Yeah. Logan was a freaking good movie. Oh, my God. Definitely, like, hands down, Logan is the best Wolverine solo movie.
Oh, 100%.
Hands down. I mean, that story was very well... You can definitely get the sense, because it's hilarious, because all through X-Men Origins, all through the Wolverine, you see the behind-the-scenes stuff, and you hear Hugh Jackman and the production staff like, well, we really want to tell the story of Old Man Logan, but we really need to establish this and this and that and that. We don't think it's time yet. So basically, by the time they finally get around to the Old Man Logan story, it turns out to be freaking amazing. And I like the minor spoiler tag, but I do like the fact that there are the New Mutants. Hearing the name Richter, it's like, oh, I see what you're doing, Fox.
I see what you're
doing. Setting up New Mutants and X-Force. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. I haven't seen Gone with the Wind.
Wow. And
I've seen that movie. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched that movie from start to finish.
Yeah, I can probably say the same thing.
I've seen pieces of that movie for sure, but I've definitely have not. That's actually like what was it? The Titanic. Never watched that movie in one sitting.
Oh wow!
I tried twice. Yeah. It was on when I was a kid. It ran on HBO for like a week straight. It was like this marathon, like at the same time Titanic was showing. So I sat down and it's like, you know what? I'm going to try and watch this. Watched it for like 30 minutes, fell asleep.
Yeah, there's shut down movies for sure. It's movies that you just want to watch, you just shut down like a...
Yeah.
Any musical.
Saw the next day around the time where I fell asleep. Watched it for like an hour, fell asleep again. Last day, again, picked it up and where I fell asleep, it's like, oh. And then it ends, it's like, oh. Well, that was a movie. Yeah. It took me 3 days to watch Titanic.
Titanic's so long, it took me 3 days.
Those are definitely night movies, for sure. I can't not. There's some movies I'll fall asleep every single time, and it's not for, like, lack of trying. If I'm not interested, I just shut down, like, what was it? Any musical, like a musical will just shut me off. Like just, I'm like, so that's I mean, going to go
I don't
see
know, this one
Guardians.
music I kept trying to watch. Rent is like my wife's like favorite musical. And I would like wake up at times and she'd be watching it, so I'd sit down and watch, and then she'd cut it off. It's like, oh, you wouldn't like this. And it's like, oh, well, screw you. I was trying to watch that.
That was one. I think the one time I remember watching a movie, then I fell asleep and I woke up to a different movie on, and I'm like, how long have I been asleep? And she's like, 15 minutes. And I'm like, you changed the channel? She's like, you were asleep. And I'm like, what is this? And she's like, oh, it's I think it might have been Rent. And I'm like, all right. And then I heard him start singing. I'm like, that night, this is...
Back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I watched all three Godfathers.
Jesus.
One AMC, nonetheless. So it's like literally, it took all day. Like it's like I love some of the stuff that AMC used to play because they really play some good movies. Man, it was like 5 minutes of movie, 7 minutes of commercials, 5 minutes of movie.
Yeah, that's actually a set of movies I have not seen.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I've somehow dodged those movies.
Definitely so what I would recommend is to anybody that enjoys movies is you go to imdb.com and pull up like the top 100 list that they have and try to watch as many of the top 25 that you can.
Oh yeah.
If they're older movies, like what was it, like 17 Ninjas or whatever that like 1950s samurai movie is. Some of those I didn't watch, right?
Watch that one. For God's sakes, watch that one.
Yeah. Well, I think I ended up watching that one, but there's some other ones like there's no way I can put myself.
Was that 13 Samurai? Is that the movie?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, watch that one. For God's...
I ended up watching it. It wasn't one of the first ones, right? But yeah, I made it through almost all of the top 25, and it's neat because a lot of them are still older movies, but so many other movies. Like what's the saying that there's nothing new in Hollywood since like 1955, and it's neat to look at movies and then you're like, oh well, this reminds me a lot of this movie and so forth. But yeah, if you watch that top 25, you'll see a lot of good ones, obviously, but there's some gems in there too.
One of my favorite things, to do. I'll keep it short for time because we all have stuff to do today, is to watch movies if you get them on DVD or like special edition. Some streaming gives you special edition. Listen to the director's commentary because you'll get like inside glimpses of what they thought they wanted you to see. Mm-hmm. Like in Inglourious Bastards. This is the one. Have you both seen Inglourious Bastards, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the guy orders 3 drinks?
Yeah. Instead
of 3 drinks? And the way it's paced, before he does that mistake, it's loud. You can hear people in the background. It's raucous. Everybody's having fun. And then that turn happens, and it goes quiet. And it focuses over the shoulder on the Nazi officer when he realizes and puts 2 and 2 together. And that's like a simple technique that directors use to go, something's about to happen, to tell the viewer without saying, oh shit, something's about to happen, to make the viewer go, what, wait. You might not notice it consciously, but subconsciously your body's like, it's quiet, what happened? And then, the turn happens. So, it's just...
Yeah, that's like the, I think it's a Michael Bay shot. Like, in Michael Bay movies, they have this one, like, spinning shot around a certain character. Mm-hmm. And it basically, the amount of information, like, if you're watching, I think they do it in, like, most of the Transformer movies, but, like, the amount of information that is on screen on, like, the chaos that's happening in that range is amazing. And because I didn't really notice the ingenuity of how he used the shot until someone made a comparison to Battleship, where they tried a similar shot, but sadly there was, like,
no, there's the same shot. He literally used the same feed, but replaced the digital planes on Pearl Harbor and the first Transformers.
No, yeah, funny, but no, like that movie Battleship, but it's like I said, but they do like the shot, like the encircling shot, but there's nothing but like blue, clear skies and a couple of things. So, I mean, it's just like these little touches that you don't quite realize sometimes.
I'll tell you one that I really enjoyed. I got to go to. I'll keep it spoiler free, but I went to a early viewing of King Arthur, and I primarily went because it was free, and I didn't realize that it was a Guy Ritchie film, and freaking loved it.
Wait, is it the new one that's coming out?
Yeah, Legend of the Sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it good? Really?
I was blown away. I had a fantastic time watching it. I went in. Maybe I went in with really, really low expectations. But I was like, you know what? It's a free movie. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take my kid to it, and because he likes swords and magic and whatever else. And I enjoyed the heck out of it. Now, given I didn't pay any money to go see it, that might have helped. But like, I mean, if you've seen the Guy Ritchie movie, you know how he does his screenplay, and I loved it. It was super fun. It had a lot of like banter back and forth, and the quick cut scenes and everything, and it was good. Definitely recommend.
Awesome. Well, that brings the 51st episode, the last episode before we hit the 1 year mark, to a close. Hidden, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
So it's pretty easy. HIDDNEN on Twitter, Twitch, Snapchat, Discord, everywhere. Pretty easy to find me. Use all the same everywhere, including Xbox and PlayStation.
Goddess.
And this is your boy Raven. You can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven. You can find me on twitch.tv/The Corvus Nest. And you can search me on YouTube, Death Switch Raven.
And I'm Buster Knuckle. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Buster_Knuckle. I'm streaming a lot more now, so I can say that first. You can find me on Twitter at Buster_Knuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. And you can find this podcast, the RngCast, at the RngCast on Twitter and Instagram. On YouTube, the RngCast podcast. And you can email us, the RngCast@gmail.com. If you choose to support, if you have a couple extra dollars laying around, you can go to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/the RngCast. And get this episode early and the behind the scenes. And this episode, spoiler, has a lot of behind the scenes this week. So,
and not that anything happened or
no,
anything.
not that anything happened. It's just we had punch and pie. We had punch and pie early. So that's patreon.com/the RngCast. Like I said, if you can support us, we appreciate it. If not, we will be here anyway. Also on the horizon, t-shirts might drop for the 1 year.
It's getting closer.
It might drop for the 1 year episode. It might drop the day of. We might announce it that day. Who knows? Probably we
Coming
will.
soon.
Nice.
So, once again, Hidden, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for helping me out with the whole stream questions.
Definitely. One thing real quick too, to where if anybody's made it all the way to the end, I've started using Revlobot on my Twitch chat, and if you mention the number 3 in my chat saying that you listened in to RNG, I'm gonna give you an extra 100 coins on my Twitch chat.
There you go.
Ooh, exclusive currency.
Nice. And this is the 51st episode of the RngCast. We're out.
Later, man.
Dog. That's right.
See you all next week. I have to do it every time Biz isn't here. I'm sorry. And every time she hears me say we're out, that's what she does. You know, that's just how it works. But yeah, seriously, though, we're out this time. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Take one. The RngCast is a member of the Destiny Tracker podcast. You should check out the other podcasts. If you like lore, the Destiny Lorecast and Rabbit Hole Radio is for you. If you're like Raven and Weapons Stats are your thing, check out Destiny Massive Breakdowns, and the Destiny Track podcast. Accents get your fire going. Check out the Destiny Down Under podcast. Sure will scratch that itch. But always remember, we here at the RngCast. Thanks for listening.